No, there's a tick on the V. It's a
No,
Y.
no, it's just the Hell's Have Eves.
There's literally a tick on the Y.
No, I don't see it.
So we started off last session in the Ledger of Chains still. Each of you went up to the mirror and each saw something and some words in different places. Ignatius, you saw yourself burning with someone trying to put you out, put out the fire on you, and you saw the word choice appear across your chest. Boris, you saw yourself younger and an assortment of different lives that you could have had, and saw the words caloric Daylor across your throat. Truyeg, you saw two different versions of yourself, one ashen, cracked, darker, the other more radiant, and then saw a vision of yourself and a dwarven girl praying, and you saw the word influence carved into your emblem. And then Ricky Bobby, you saw yourself blurred, moving, doused in flames, skin glowing, and saw the phrase, "You win or you burn out," inscribed across your forehead. You guys then went to the Baylor's room. You traversed a trap to get in there initially, and then did some traps with the chains, all standing in a square in order to complete the last one. And eventually freed him, and Ignatius received a horn from Vorthag. Sorry. You then lastly went down to the bottom of the jail. You saw some statues while you were down there, received some loot, got some books, and eventually came face to face with Chains and Charms, who were not the biggest fans of your email conspiracy, and proceeded to fireball you, who you then fought and have just defeated. And that's where we are.
I'm going to cut both of their heads off.
No, good shout, good shout.
Okay. Before we get started, can everyone please also level up? Boris and Ricky, I've put your subclass features onto your character sheet already. All right, you're leveled up now.
Sweet.
Okay.
I'm going to check Charms' pockets, see if there's anything on them. I don't know if it's a he or a her.
I beheaded them both.
Where is the thing that makes you sort of like highlight in a space? Like a little pulse thing, so you can show where you want to like be.
Just long press.
How do you see those steps there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit on them and put my head in my hands. Boris was on 7 HP for the last fight.
I went down twice, so I'm also drinking my alcohol as I'm looking through Charms' pockets.
So you don't find much in there. You find a potion of gaseous form, and you find 5 soul coins.
I'm on 7 soul coins. I'm fucking rich, bruv.
Is there a way to correctly light the room? Am I looking at like a torch on the floor and some sort of like lamps to light, or is this
the room is complete? The room that you're in is completely lit.
It's just what you can see. It's just that's what your character can see. It's like real life. If you was to be in a room, you would be able to see what's round the wall, would you?
Yeah.
Well, that's not usually our roles when he is. Anyway, okay, that's fine. Now we've clarified that. Thank you. Didn't realise Ricky Bobby had a degree all of a sudden.
Come on, bro. Switch on. Switch on.
Can I make a general perception check to this room, just trying to get like the vibe and anything in here?
Is there anything secret going on?
What are you trying to look for?
Yeah, what are you looking for,
You've got to
Boris?
be more specific.
I'll help you look for it if you tell me what we're looking for, Boris.
I am trying to look for anything that is either related to any of the other generals that we've got to kill, or Bell, or failing that, Zariel.
Yeah, is there any open laptop with Gmail open at the moment?
Yeah. any evidence he was on the chain email.
Okay, make a perception check with me, and we'll say Truyeg's helping you, so you got advantage. The room is fairly bare, other than some lamps, some chains, and whatnot, and obviously the throne itself. You don't see anything related specifically to Zariel or the other generals. They were clearly ruling the jail here, so there are some kind of notes strewn about with names of different demons on. There's nothing giving you information on Zariel or Bell or any of the others. Chains has no pockets. It's a being made entirely out of ethereal chains. At the moment, what you're looking at is a bunch of chains strewn about on the ground.
Is there any way to
anything
dismantle the chains?
Wait. Sorry. Can I quick ask? You know, I just said I beheaded them both. So does that mean I've beheaded one of them and now I've got chains?
You've got a couple of chain links in your pocket as well.
You've got a chain that forms the idea of a head. Yeah.
Okay.
But what chains essentially is ethereal chains bound to a soul within, as opposed to a literal body inside of that.
Is everybody happy with what we've got from this room, or do we want to keep looking for stuff? Or...
I mean,
I think we should get out of here.
I
before
think we
everyone
should.
else-
Yeah. That's actually such a good point.
I'm sure there are some other wardens or guards in this jail somewhere. So I think we better hightail it.
Boris is sat on the step, full like Vietnam 1,000-yard stare, and then just gets up and says, "We need to leave immediately."
I'll look over to Boris and I'll hand him a bottle of moonshine.
Boris downs the whole thing. doesn't even take a swig, just the whole thing.
I'll look impressed. It was a little bit sad because that was my last bottle of moonshine, I think.
Please can we leave? I'm just going. Let's go.
Ricky's got his katana leant up against the wall and he's looking at his reflection doing gun fingers at himself.
What a fucking legend, dude. That's iconic.
Ricky, please, can we rest somewhere and you can do that? I will help you personally do that if we leave.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Can you let me know which direction you're leaving?
Yeah, where the fuck are we going?
We're going off to the right.
Yeah, I'm following
He's
Ignatius.
small and quick.
You walk up the staircase that took you about 10 minutes to descend. You get to the top of the staircase, and
Takes
you are
45 to descend.
you are at a long corridor in which the prisoner rooms are either side. Are you heading straight for the exit, trying to go back the way you came? Back out to the corridor in which you came to here, and if you remember correctly, you entered the jail into a long big holding room that had a spiral staircase either side, and you instead chose to descend. I take it you guys are still just heading for the exit?
Yeah, let's get the
Yeah,
fuck
I
out.
don't think we've got time or energy for sightseeing. So I think we should just get out of here.
So you head out the front door, you head back over the bridge of which you entered through, and eventually...
I'm gonna look for somewhere fairly safe, like away from the prison, that we can set up a camp.
Okay, make a quick little perception check for me. If you can find somewhere safe-ish. Okay, so you walk out, and after following the path which took you up to the river, eventually you find yourself just on a piece of the plains away from the jail sufficiently, but you're not super close to the river. And I mean, there's shit strewn across it, as there always seems to be, but this seems to be a quiet part.
I'll set up the pop-up tent and say to the guys, I think we should get a nap in, maybe have some food.
100%.
I'll get the
Idea,
stove
drum
on.
man.
now.
Oh.
I could not find one with red ground outside, so I've made the background red.
Good.
And imagine that this grass is actually a red plane.
I'm imagining.
I'm not.
However,
You've ruined the immersion. Delete the game now.
10
You
cups
want-
of AstroTurf.
Lovely.
Quality.
I'm gonna go and sit on this throne. Over here
I
before we-
fucking knew. I knew you were gonna do that.
Right, I'm gonna sit in it and start brewing another bottle of moonshine. And while that happens, I'm gonna read one of the books that I took. I don't know what books I have taken. I think there's like 7 books I've taken.
You did
so
take 7 books.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna pick the one that looks most interesting.
firstly, for the moonshine, can you make a nature check for me and let me know how many bits of your fermented fruit you're going to attempt to use?
I'll use another 5.
Boris is going to go and sit in front of the fire and curl up into a ball.
I
of
rolled a
the
nat
fire.
1, so I rolled a 0.
I'm afraid this bottle of moonshine spoils, and you have wasted your 5 fermented fruit.
I'm gonna use another 3 fermented fruit. Oh, use another 5 fermented fruit. Fuck it, and try again.
How much
Please roll.
fucking fruit do you have on it?
Yeah, you've just
I
had that on you.
I had like 40 or something.
All the
40
useful
fermented fruit.
shit that we could have, you're carrying around.
Why
fermented fruit.
didn't you throw the fruit directly at
I did
Chains?
throw the fruit. I did throw the
Why don't
fruit.
you
Yeah,
make health
to set off a
potions
trap.
instead of alcohol?
You
Why don't
you
you make
have,
health potions?
I can't make a health potion out of fermented fruit.
you've managed to make
fucking
a bottle
alcohol.
of moonshine.
Well
Yeah,
bloody
yeah,
done,
yeah.
mate. Is there basic ingredients for like bread?
Yeah, so the tent's stocked with basic ingredients: some meat, some wheat, some flour, sugar.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make some ship's biscuits. so that I always have a trusty little snack on our adventure.
Can you make a nature check for me to
yeah.
make
Yes.
the biscuits?
Yes. Damn it.
I'm going to say they're slightly overdone. They're a little bit charred on the edges, but they work as ship's biscuits.
That's amazing. So they still sound like...
Luke, can I? Now I'm sort of sat on my own. Can I? Didn't really get time to digest it whilst in the prison, but the name that was written on my chest in my mirror, what was that name again?
Tayloric Daylor. So do you
I
want me to spell it for you?
Do I recognise his name? Have I ever heard of it before?
You do not know the name Tayloric Daylor, no. You can, if you want to make a check, you can.
What check would you suggest that I make?
A history check would be what I need. I'm gonna say on that you recognise the surname Daylor, but you, as you're sat there yourself, you are not sure what from.
I'm going to turn to everyone and say, boys, look, I'm going to level with you now. We're 3 for 3 at the moment, and you've this was not good at first. I thought I was with a bunch of fucking idiots, but do you know what? You're my idiots now. So you've proven that you can be my adventuring party, and this could be something for me. So no secrets from me. Caloric Day. What's his name again? Oh, I fucking forgot it already. Caloric Daydraw. That's the name I saw in my mirror when we were in the prison. So everyone knows. Don't know what it means. Don't know who he is.
Oh, okay.
Slightly rings a bell, but there you go.
I have a name that I don't recognise, but I couldn't even voice that name to you.
Wait, could everyone else make a history check for me? To see
Oh,
if they
you're
remember
damn
this
fucking
name?
right, I can. History?
Because some of you might. Truyeg, despite your very good roll,
Damn.
your life in the mountains, you do not.
That's
you,
fair.
You know dwarven names, you know
Yeah.
stuff like that. This is not a name that's familiar to you.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Ignatius, however, Caloric Daylor means nothing to you, but the surname Daylor is familiar to you. You know that to be the surname of the man who is the Lord General, the ultimate commander of the army of Aloria.
No,
By the name,
somewhere. I knew I'd
Of-
heard it somewhere. Yes,
did.
you said you promised me if we complete this task that I could work as his right hand man or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Motherfucker.
Make a further history check on him to see if you remember anything more other than just his name and who he is.
Nat 20, come on. Nope.
You remember his name and whatnot, but you never met him, so...
That was in my goody two days.
Listen, we've made that connection, and I knew that last name was ringing a bell, and like above table was ringing a bell as well. So I'm happy with that. I'll take that that little connection, and we can all have that in the back of our heads going forward.
I'm just gonna say before everyone goes to bed, watch this, and then Ricky Bobby's gonna start doing the robot, and then at the very end of his robot, he's gonna go, and now to really impress you, and then he's gonna do his best impression of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and say good night to everyone.
With an uncanny resemblance, Ricky Bobby manages to perfectly recreate the swagger and tendencies of Stone Cold Steve Austin as he says goodnight to each of you, shaking your hand and cracking a can of water over his head.
Boris is actually looking through Ricky at this point. He's glassed. He's fully glassed over.
I mean, I'm going to take the first watch, so I'm going to
Yeah.
Also, actually, before we go to bed, is there any way to even contact Bell, or are we just out here?
No, we're just vibes.
Okay.
I want to go talk to him, but I don't know what I actually want to say to him, but I kind of want to say hello to him.
Do you know what? I think the exact same. Like, I want to talk to him, but I don't actually know what I would say to him when I got there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy to curse his name while he can't hear. He probably can.
You probably can hear it. Bell, if you're listening,
Probably, yeah,
fuck
definitely can
you,
hear,
buddy.
and probably planning our downfall as we speak, but I'm too tired to give a shit, so...
In terms of watches, how are you splitting this? So there's 4 of you, so each of you could have a rest and watch for 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to take the first watch, and I'm actually going to just, whatever happens, I'm waking up Boris after my watch.
I'll take the final watch. Yes.
Ricky's gonna just fall asleep on the throne.
You flick open Mirror Skin and Snow Soul, the Changelings of Frostspire. So it is dated 1251 ES, which is, you would know this, it's Era of the Sundering. It was written by Feror Valen of Selendor. And there are a couple of excerpts here I'll read out for you, but if you have any questions as well, then you can read further into the book and I'll let you know if there's anything else in there regarding what you're looking for. So the excerpts, while flicking through, that you managed to read are: in Selendor's silver market, a child with one green eye and one violet once asked me what truth meant. I had no answer then. Changelings are born from rhyme and veil. They do not wear masks, they are masks. The glaciers hum with ancient songs, known only to those who do not belong to one skin or name. Changelings call it the whispering cold, an ancestral memory echoing through bone and snow. It is said the first changeling of Frostspire was born from the blood of a trickster spirit and a woman who walked into a blizzard and never returned. When she did, she had no face, only choices.
A couple of things. I just want to know, 1251 ES, how long ago in the past is that from now? Are we still in ES, or...?
Yes, so we're still in the era of Sundering. The current year is 1472 ES. So it was written around about 200 years ago, just over. So Selindor is the city at the north of Eloria. It borders on the Frostspire region. It is in the cold, just outside of the mountains where Truyeg and Ironholt, where Truyeg grew up and where the city of Ironholt is. It is a magical city. It's surrounded by icy wastelands and mystical ruins, and is full of scholars and seekers of all different kinds of magic. And if you remember, in the first session, you were given some magical wards from someone who was cloaked when you were in the King's Room and you were all recruited. That was a member of the Moonveil Society, as was explained to you at the time, which is a order of the arcane that resides in Selendor.
All right. That's basically everything. Although when I read that last word, choices, I'm gonna have a couple of flashbacks to looking at in the mirror, seeing Emily's face and the word choices on me, and it's gonna bring back some pain memories, which I'm gonna then profusely drink about a good half a bottle of my moonshine through my 2-hour watch. And then while I'm quite drunk, I'm going to go and wake up Boris for his watch. I'll give him a little shake. And I'll sort of slurring my words, say, it's your watch, mate. It's your watch. Like, I look a bit out of it.
Go on, drunk man, you sit down. I'll take over. And I'll
As he walks out, so obviously I'm here. As he walks back, I'm gonna like sort of stumble towards him, and as he gets about halfway, I'm gonna be like to him, you don't like me very much, do you? I've heard drunken monkey, drunken idiot, mainly a lot of drunken slurs towards me. I don't take any offense to it, but
honestly, it is my best attempt at endearment. It's as good as we're gonna get. So I actually do like you. If I didn't like you, I know there's not a lot of choice down here, but I probably would have killed you and me by now. So I put it this way: I like you. You do less annoying things than Ricky does, and I quite like Ricky as well.
we do what we need to do to cope, I guess, don't we?
Well, people call me Boris the Bastard, and it's just it's nice to laugh at yourself every once in a while. So
I'll sort of look beyond him for a little bit and swig my drink and just be like, I mean, we all have our vices, we all have our ways we cope. You're luckier than I am. The way you cope is through anger, through rage, but at least when you get angry, you get to look on the face of those that come before you. I'd do anything to see the people from my past, and sort of my voice sort of falls towards the end, and a single tear rolls down my eye, and I wipe it away and take another swig.
I put a hand on Ignatius' shoulder and say, "Well, as much as that is true, you've seen the ghosts that I carry when I do get to express my anger and my rage. So just know that you're not the only one in that state of play." And I'll leave it at that and give him a good pat and sort of scurry him off to the bed because he seems not in the right state.
Perfect. For that little bit of role play as well, both mark a point of inspiration on your character sheets. Boris, you're sat by the front of the tent. Is there anything you want to do with your 2 hours?
The only thing of note I would like to do in the 2 hours is I would like to pull out of, I've got a belt on or whatever. I would like to pull out of a small sort of clasp on my belt a picture, like an sort of an arcane, clearly wizardly crafted picture of me and Jana and Gideon and Raphael. It's like a picture of Raphael's on my shoulders and Jana's got a big mug of beer and he's sort of like playfully nudging me, and Gideon's like over the top of all of us, like thumbs up. It's clearly like a picture of us where we'd first got together and hadn't really sort of seen any difficult times yet, and things looked actually okay, and it was less mercenary and more sort of adventuring. And I'll flip the picture over and take like a little piece of chalk out of my pocket, and I'll write Ignatius, Truyeg, and not Boris, Ricky on the back, and I'll just put it back in my pocket.
Are you going to wake someone up?
I will go and wake Truyeg up. Ignatius is done and dusted, so am I. It's buddy.
Reasonable. I did say I want the final watch, but that's all right.
Or you could always. Oh shit! Did you? Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm up now. I'm up.
asleep.
No, Boris. It's okay. It's okay. Let's not wake.
I'm gonna give him a playful wink and say, or you could always send Amateur out there to watch for you. And wink with my one. Considering I've got an eye patch, it just looks like
I will bear that in mind, Boris. Sleep well, buddy.
Is there anything that you would like to do with your 2 hours watch?
Not for the full 2 hours, but I'll probably just eyes open when when I say I'm praying. I'm not closing my eyes or anything. It's like I'm having a conversation with, as if there's someone in front of me, and it's like I'm just out loud saying questions like, is this a test from you? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this how I prove my faith, by doing deals with devils? I mean, I feel like there's something that's not tracking here, and I don't know if I'm missing it. I don't know if my faith is misplaced. Not that there's anything wrong with you or the faith I've chosen, or did I really have a choice in it? I mean, there's only really one thing I've grown up knowing, and that's you and this. But now I'm here. I'm in bloody Avernus with these guys. Not that they're bad. I actually quite enjoy their company, to be fair. I just don't know if this is right for me. I don't know if I'm making correct choices. I don't know if I should be doubting myself. Should I be? When is being ignorant of the faith? I mean, bloody Ignatius, man. He followed you, but he doesn't anymore. And he must have his reasons. And is it right for him to say it's all a bunch of shit to me? Is it right for me to say that I believe in it to him? I mean, I don't know. If this is a test, it's one I'm not fully understanding. But God, I hope I make it through it. I want to see my parents again. Maybe I was made for the mountains and not Avernus. And then I'm just gonna let it fizzle out and just stare off into the darkness.
And just before your 2 hour watch is over, it's very slight, incredibly slight. But just as you get up to go wake up Ricky Bobby, seemingly from nowhere, you can't see the source, there is the faintest of lights, seemingly sunlight as you would know it, shining in a circle just in front of you as you sit at the gate of your tent. But within a moment, it dissipates.
Oh, gave me chills. I'm gonna I acknowledge it internally, and I'm just gonna go wake Rick the Bobby up.
Mark a point of inspiration on your sheet.
What does inspiration actually give us?
Inspiration allows you to re-roll one dice roll of a d20 roll
Any
of your
dice
choice.
roll.
So for anything, you can use up your inspiration that you have and re-roll that.
Tap on his skull, like really annoyingly, like, wake up, Ricky. Fuck, Jesus, okay. It's your turn, buddy.
Is it Margot?
It is, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna stand up and then make my way to the middle.
I'm gonna sit in the throne.
And then is Boris still at the fire asleep? I'm gonna look behind me, like see if Truyeg's asleep yet. I'm just gonna start fucking giving the fingers to Boris asleep. And then I'm gonna quickly run over to Ignatius and do the same thing. Back to the front of the tent. And then I'm gonna try and do a handstand. Like, I'm gonna set up all my weapons on the side and then try and do a handstand while like looking in the mirror of my weapon, like my katana.
Can you make an athletics check for me? It's not the cleanest of handstands, but you don't fall over. You don't hold it very long. You kind of get your leg up and then very quickly have to put it back down. You would say it's a handstand, but you wouldn't give it a particularly high mark at a gymnastics contest. We'll say that.
I'm gonna stop doing a handstand and I'm going to practice my speech when I come back to the kingdom, and I'm the hero.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do the Conor McGregor speech, and when he won his second title, and I'm gonna do my best impression of Conor McGregor, saying like and I want to take this chance to thank absolutely nobody. The champ does what the fuck he wants.
You're thinking Ricky's actually paying a modicum of attention to protecting us. Doing handstands, and imitating Conor McGregor.
He is living in his own world.
Yeah.
Thankfully, even with disadvantage of him paying no attention, I rolled high, so it's fine.
Wake up, it's been pillaged.
Okay, is that you just practicing your speech for 2 hours then? Are you going to be just outside the tent, or are you actually going like well outside the tent?
No, I'm gonna be just outside the tent, but I am also gonna be doing handstands outside there as well.
Go on, make another acrobatics check for me.
Acrobatics or
Athletics, sorry.
athletics.
Okay. So you go for a handstand this time, and you are plonked arse over tit onto the ground, and covered in the dust of Avernus and some soot and some shit. You are on the ground, kind of collecting yourself for a second, just stood up just outside the tent on this plain of Avernus. And as you dust yourself off and come back to consciousness, you look up around you and see 5 bearded devils stood in a semicircle aroround you. Ricky Bobby, can you please click on your token and roll initiative for me? Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Okay.
Holy shit, there's bears of them. What the
Let me get some combat music ready.
Can you say the combat music wakes me up, please?
You are all asleep currently.
In Ricky's head, he's playing Highway to Hell.
This first one is going to run up to you here and is going to hit you with a multi-attack. One with its beard, which is this kind of collection of tendrils with spikes and kind of jagged edges on them. 21 hit. Wait, let me choose some different music. This music's fucking shite. So that does 4 piercing damage to you. And then as he slashes across your face with his beard, he's going to swing round with his infernal glaive. And that also rolled a 21.
Brilliant.
Doing 11 slashing damage to
Brilliant.
you. So you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
And then I'm also going to need you to make a constitution saving throw for me.
My saving throws, constitution.
Just roll it normally without
No.
advantage or disadvantage. Oh wait, no, it's no, it's an ability. It's a saving throw. Yeah, you do make it.
Gee
Just
whiz.
about. But you do, however, take the obviously 15 damage
Yeah.
total. It is your go. The tent is just behind you, just so you know. But you are outside the door of the tent. I'll say you're about 10 feet away from the door to the tent.
I'm going to stab the one in front of me with a one-handed katana.
Oh, mate.
Okay, roll to hit for me. That will be with disadvantage, yes. A 12 misses.
Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around and run back into the tent.
Okay, you're going to take 2 opportunity attacks.
Oh, fuck.
And that
They
one,
both
12.
miss.
They both miss.
Alright, yeah, well, I'm going to get just inside the door. That's all that matters, because I'm not going to go all the way in, because I'm going to come back out and fuck these up, so.
Okay, so you are just inside the door.
I'm going to yell, yippee, yippee, there's enemies, yippee, yippee. And then I'm going to turn back round and leave straight away.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to firstly make a performance check for me. Everyone else, can you make perception checks?
Yeah.
Well,
You rolled a nat 20 there as well. What the fuck?
I know. Yeah, can
Perception.
you all make perception checks for me?
Oh!
Okay. Ignatius, can you firstly immediately roll initiative for me? So you're going to run back out and go back to standing in front of these 2 bearded devils, correct?
Yes, because I've not stand. Well, it's 10 feet in it.
It's
so
10
I've
feet,
got
so
between.
you can stand...
I'm literally going to stand 10 feet away from it, like at the door, waiting for the others to come running out, because I assume that that's just woken them all up.
You have just woken up and you heard the words, yippee, yippee. There are enemies, maybe, but you no longer see Ricky Bobby stood by the door. Ricky Bobby is not here.
I'm going to take the book about changelings and lob it at Yeg's head to try and wake him up. Where is it? It's like... There's something to do with... I'm pretty sure I could, like, basically make it as a monk weapon attack.
A minotaur.
Just make a strength check for me.
8.
You miss.
I'm going to waste my inspiration and use it.
Okay, go on.
Got it. We need to save him.
Reroll that. So let me just double check something. Okay, I'm gonna say you just hit with that because I'm saying it would be AC -5.
Because he's just asleep.
Because he's asleep. So I'll say you just about hit him with that. Yeg, make a perception check for me.
I'm perceiving.
You don't wake up.
Burn a key point to step of the wind dash as far as I can to the doorway, and as I'm running, I'm just going to scream loudly.
Okay, make a performance check for me. And both of you two make perception checks.
So I can move 90 feet.
Gee
so I can
whiz,
move-
man.
No, Yeg's still asleep.
Yeg is still fast asleep.
I'm gonna wake. I'm gonna like jolt up and see Ignatius running out the door and go, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
So are you trying to shout to wake him up, are you?
Yeah.
Performance check, please.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna get my trident and I'm gonna throw it at the top of his chair to like rattle him away.
Okay, make a thrown trident attack.
Holy shit, it fucking goes wrong.
Please roll on that one. Please. Aww. Boo.
Truyeg,
Huh?
you are fast asleep in a cozy sleep, and all of a sudden, your eyes open as a trident pierces into the chair, just missing you above the head, and you hear Boris screaming in a high-pitched voice that you haven't heard before. You've never heard such a high pitch come out of his mouth. Firstly, roll initiative for me.
Oh yeah.
What is it that you wish?
Well,
to do?
I'm sprinting and I'll dash the 40 to there and then the 40 over here. That's
Okay.
that's what I got in
And
my
that-
locker.
That is the end of your turn.
It is.
He is going to move up alongside his brethren and is going to end his turn. This one is going to move up to here and end his go. This one is going to move up and seeing Boris emerge from the tent is going to make a multi-attack at him. So it's going to hit with its beard first, 14. And then as the tendrils kind of fly by your face, it swings down with its glaive and also misses.
I'm gonna go, oh fuck it, I'll go into a rage.
I am going to step of the wind disengage, run to here, and then I'm going to use my burning breath in a 15-foot cone like that to get 1, 2, 3 devils in it.
Okay.
Lovely.
Can you just put your burning breath up on screen for
I
me?
can indeed.
Okay, so it is dexterity saving throws.
Yeah. And they all
Wow.
fail.
So they all fail. So they all take
3d6. Oh, you
8
rolled it.
points of fire damage.
Yeah.
He does then need to make a Constitution saving throw,
Let's go.
which he fails.
Oh, you dickhead.
So it receives an infernal wound and loses 5 hit points at the start of each of its turn. Wound closes after 1 minute.
So, I leave the tent, which I can just
Okay.
about do. That is good to fucking know. With my action, use bless on my 3 comrades. They're all blessed, and
Okay.
I'm gonna be blessing them as I'm sprinting out. I'm like, Amanator, please, for the love of God! And then they're all. And then I think, can I do anything on my bonus action? Is anyone? Oh no, I need to touch you. That's a shame.
All right, Boris, you're back up.
Yeah, hit the bloke in front of me.
And you absolutely eviscerate this fucking last legs, wounded, bloodied devil.
Yeah, now I'm gonna hit the bloke to the side of me in front of Ricky.
Hit. And you also eviscerate these 2 bloodied, pretty fucked up devils. The pair of them.
180 and smack this fucker with the damn devotees thing again.
Go on, my
3, 2,
son.
1, push!
Hey, that hits.
So that is 9. Is that now plus 1d8?
That's plus a d8.
Ooh, buddy.
I thought that would roll with the d8 as well. I'll have to double check the stuff. But So that's 10. That's still
Yeah.
good damage.
Oh, and I've got Hill's Tumble, so I can make it prone with a hit.
You can.
Fuck that bitch, dude. I'm fucking massive, dude.
So this one is now prone, and it's this one's go.
Ah, damn.
So it's gonna expend half its movement to get up. That was really good though. Well done, yeah.
No, I'm glad I remembered it.
Apologies.
I'm gonna punch the wounded one.
Yeah,
I've been the one that I've been wailing on.
that hits.
Right now, I should actually roll my true damage. I still rolled a fucking 2.
And you clark this one across the face, and it's essentially out on its feet, but it will not go down.
Then
It stood there staring back at you.
I'm gonna then take a second, and I'm gonna absolutely boot it in the chest.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna clearly miss it completely.
And you're gonna pick your foot up and try and boot it in the chest and completely miss and stumble forward and fall over.
Okay. I'm gonna use half a movement to get up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my last key point for a very angry flurry of blows.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna punch it at least one more time. There we go, for 11.
And you finally get the best of this
Lovely.
devil that just would not go down.
And I got one more for my flurry of blows, so I'm going to hit the other one next to me.
Yeah, go ahead. That hits.
Lovely. For 11. Oh, I rolled an 8.
And you do 11.
That's a what?
1d4.
Yeah, 1d4.
Yeah, so that hits. For 11 points of damage. That hits.
And boom.
And you swing again, killing that one off. Is now this one's go. And with seeing all of its mates die around it, it's going to attempt to flee. Can you and Boris, can Ignatius and Boris both make opportunity attacks for me?
Yeah. Oh!
You do hit.
Oh, 13 hits, mad.
Yeah.
Dude, Bless is absolutely insane.
Okay, between the two of you, how do you want to do this?
Have you seen that video of like the paedophile like getting caught by like those two blokes in like that supermarket, and one of them like throws him up in the air and slaps him?
What the fuck are you on about?
That's just I imagine that happening then.
I'm gonna like spinning back kick the devil onto Boris's trident.
Yeah, I'm more than happy with that. I prepped the trident, waiting for it.
I'm gonna go and slap Ricky Bobby and be like,
Yeah.
were you fucking paying attention, or what the fuck were you doing?
Did I not fucking yell? Or...
Yeah, but if you're
You did a very good job of waking us all up, you fucking bell.
You was obviously in a deep sleep, weren't you?
What were you doing when
Listen.
they arrived? Were you actually paying attention, or?
Well, obviously, I saw them coming from a mile away. They was probably like.
I'll roll a perception to see if he's lying.
You can. Can you roll a deception check, Ricky? And can you roll insight, please, Boris?
If you're quick about it, you can also still
wish.
use Bless.
Both of you can use bless.
No,
But if you want to roll
Are
with advantage, you can use it.
Actually, you know what? I will piece of the thing on my katana just to, because I've not used it yet, to see if it will actually do anything.
Okay, so can you roll with advantage on deception and then roll a d4 and add that to it?
And roll a d4.
So based on what he's saying, Boris, it seems to me that that he was paying the utmost attention. He was standing guard, And
No, it's been a long day and a long night, Ricky. I'm sorry, all right? I had my back up. I don't know. I had a nightmare you were doing handstands or something. I fuck knows what that was about, but
No, they came in. There was an eagle. It flew in and dropped them off quickly. I see the eagle coming from miles away, so I had to quickly run in and try and wake you up. But
That's reasonable.
I was a bit
Yeah.
distracted.
Sorry, I was so asleep, boys.
yeah. I had a horrific dream that you were doing handstands and making speeches. Honestly, fucking, I'm so glad you woke me up. That was a terrible nightmare.
I think
Ricky's gonna wipe the sweat off his forehead.
So, firstly, can you all remember what your health is currently? Long rest, but then I'm going to need you to reset your health back to what it was.
Okay. Epic.
So you can all long rest, get all of your shit back. I'm going to say, for the sake of niceness, that any spell slots or anything used, or rage things, or even key points, because I'm nice, you can regain, but I'm going to need you to all put your health back down to what it was at the end of that fight.
No, I use my hit dice in lieu of that, like.
And yeah, if you want to take a short rest after this, you are more than welcome to.
All right, I will be doing that.
I will be doing that as well. Also, oh, actually, I'll roll my hit dice first.
35.
Actually, I'll fuck it. I'll roll one.
42. There we go. I'm back to
Yeah, I'll roll a hit dice as well. There as well.
You managed to get away with it there. You barely
Mine's
took
an E12 now. Wow.
Yeah, you're a barbarian. You got them big hit dice.
That reaction was just.
What a complete fucking waste.
Who's spawning fucking random shit on the side? Who's spawning balls
Dice in the
on the
tent.
side?
You can drag the dice roll onto the screen.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
That is amazing.
I'm just rolling his nat one onto the screen.
You reminded me that I'm really good at handstands outside, and then he's gonna do one.
Go on, give me a an athletics check.
Do I get bless on these?
No,
We're
surely
gonna
not.
say your bless has ended now.
It only lasts a minute. But...
What am I doing at athletics?
So you managed to hit a handstand, but again, it's not the cleanest. You're up for a few seconds, but then you have to put your foot back down.
Ricky's gonna stand up and then immediately look at all of them and go, "Look at my eyes, look at my eyes, not around the eyes, not around the eyes, into my eyes. You're under." You just thought that is the best handstand you've ever seen. You're back in the room.
Ricky, that was the fucking best handstand I've ever seen, dude. I can't. I don't know how you do that. That is so cool.
I'm holding Truyeg's hand and literally weeping. I feel emotional right now.
Ricky Bobby's just gonna smoulder.
We've officially lost the plot.
just.
Yeah. The belt isn't actually spying on us, because if he is, what the fuck?
He's really starting to question his decisions.
And where's the closest next target?
Well,
So
there's a guy up here that he's bare-eyed.
Yeah.
We should leave him for last, apparently.
it's actually here.
So do you want to? Should we? I mean, we're gonna have to cross this motherfucking river again. But do you want to go to the Tower of and then Hell Riders, in that?
If we wanted to, I'm not saying we have to. We could go by land all this way, check in on Bell,
True.
cross over,
Truyeg.
do the crypt, and then do Mordecai on the way back up to.
The river is also thinner down by Bell, isn't it? Is it?
Very true.
How much thinner? Still like hundreds of yards.
Also, we go past Tiamat's castle on the way down.
That could be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Who is Tiamat, by the way, guys?
As a cleric, you should know.
Should I know? Do I know?
Oh, it's a religion check.
Well, make a religion check for me.
Dude.
Okay, so you know a little bit about Tiamat.
Oh,
Tiamat
it's come back to me.
Is a god. It is known to be a 5-headed dragon god.
Oh,
It is the god of Bane. No, sorry, it is a servant of the god Bane.
I think that's a good plan though. By going by land, I think vibes. I think we got to go see Bells, check in, see how he's doing, see how he's doing on the plan. You know,
killing some more of the thingies. But if he's not there, we can have a little snoop around. And if he is,
yeah,
there,
we could have a little. We
chat
could
to
have a
him.
little mooch around his base. Yeah, exactly.
Good.
And then we'll cross here at the river because we know there's a geezer there to cross us at the river if we need to.
Yeah. I don't want to give up a memory. Do you know what I mean?
Me neither. But I mean, we have to cross it at some point. We have to go over once. So we have to go over it twice more.
Do you know what's sad though is I don't remember what memories I've had to give up, and that's even more scary to me.
So I'm gonna say down to I'm kind of breaking your journey up into 3 parts. So it's the journey to this bit, the journey to this bit, and then the final leg of the journey down to Bel's throne.
Reasonable take.
So I'm gonna say this would take you half a day, a full day down to here, and then another half day to get down to Bel's throne.
Chilling.
All right, so we've got about 2 days to travel in.
Yeah. I can do that.
Roundabout. Okay, so you start making your way, and you guys are just all walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes peeled for any dangers that could be occurring on our journey, and if I spot anything in the distance, I will adjust our route accordingly to ignore them.
Having a chat, anyone talking to each other?
Ricky, buddy, are you aware of the mission that we're doing, or are you just out for the kill?
I'm here, but basically, I don't know if you know this, but behind the scenes, obviously, I'm the leader.
Yeah, Loki.
I'm kind of just here for the media purposes.
Oh, I see. Good. Yeah.
Send all the emails, and also I'm the looks of the group.
So it was you that sent the emails.
I send the emails. Yeah. It's why it's ricky.bobby@outlook.com.
Of course, that's what's going on the banner. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So basically, I am gonna send an email to whoever we're gonna kill next. You know what? I might even send an email to Bell, but that's probably a group decision. What we say in that email. But I'm kind of just here for the look.
You're here for the optics of it all, really.
Yeah.
Does that mean you do have faith in us getting to the end because of your obvious leadership?
I have faith in us getting to the end.
Yeah.
Because I'm here.
Okay, good. No, I like that actually. That there's that confidence. There's a certain level of arrogance you need to be the best, and I think you've got it.
I don't know what arrogance means, but if it's good, I've got it.
That's okay. I'll pat you on the back and just go, fucking amount at all, please, for the love of.
Ricky Bobby's gonna shake his mullet.
On the journey, we can't hear you.
No, we can't, Lou.
I was going to speak to him as well.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
I fucking lent on my volume. How long have you not been able to hear me for?
I don't know, a while, I think.
Pretty much ever since we decided on the route, we haven't heard anything from you.
That's fine. That's fine. I only asked what is Bell's email. Yeah, Ricky, what is Bell's email, Ricky?
Hang on, let me check. I'm gonna turn around and pretend to look at my, but so no one can see what I'm doing. It looks like I'm not actually doing. I'm gonna turn back around and go. It's bell.end@outlook.com.
Bell.end@outlook. .com.
Interesting how he's chosen to spell that differently in his email.
Well,
So
his original choice, it was taken. So.
Well, I have no idea. I'm not Bell, am I? Listen, I didn't know his second name was End. Could be anything, but
Yeah, I was going to ask, but it's actually not even worth it.
it's also like I don't know why he uses Outlook.
Yeah. You
So-
would have
You use
thought
Outlook.
there was a
You
Gmail or
use
a
Outlook.
Yahoo down here.
I don't know. I know Outlook's the most used, so
I'm gonna say that you've got to about here. About here-ish. You've got about halfway. And something you do see kind of a little way off your path, but you can just about make it out, is a tent set up off track. Somewhat similar to your own, but its flaps are open, but you can't really make out what it is.
Have a fucking look at that. What? It's like our tent. Don't
Go
think,
say hello.
don't think
Oh,
Bell's got other adventuring parties out here, not just us. Surely.
Surely not.
since Boris just said that, Ricky Bobby's just going to immediately assume that there is, and there might be someone like him in there that can do really good handstands. So he's going to approach the tent.
I'll follow behind, just interested.
Okay.
But I'm going to make it clear that like I'm going to look because like there might be good loot in there, and not that there's someone who in there that can do really good hands.
As you walk up to this tent, the flaps are open, and you see inside, and there seem to be wares in amongst that of things that you have not seen before. And stood towards the back of the tent, behind a table, just nattering away with some products, is a fairly low quality image of a darker skinned woman with afro-y brown hair and glowing blue eyes stood behind the counter. As she notices you enter, she says, "Ah, some other planier travelers. Welcome to my interdimensional shop.
What?
My name is Rhea Mantlethorn. I run the shop you can find anywhere."
How anywhere are you? Are you like franchised, or is it just you and you sort of travel around from place to place?
It's just me, but you can find me just about anywhere you could be.
So it's not like a Starbucks situation where you're just like a massive franchise and you're everywhere. Like you're a one-man band and you just
You're a pop-up
visit.
store kind of girl.
I'm afraid I'm not sure what Starbucks is, but yeah, I am a pop-up store kind of gal.
You give out discounts to incredibly brave adventurers.
I do give out discounts to incredibly brave adventurers. At the moment, I don't really see any stood before me.
Do you sell booze?
I have some booze, if you would so wish.
Are you good at handstands?
No, I'm not particularly good at handstands.
Fuck this, let's leave.
Hang on. I've got some money I want to spend. I want some of that booze, firstly, but what have you got that's cool? What have you got that can interest me?
So some of my more interesting items would be a soul flask grenade. I've got some flame-kissed ammunition, a hell's lens, a whispering chain, wrench of the war machines. I've got all sorts.
What is a
What
hell?
all of those things you've just said? All of those things.
Okay, so firstly, since you asked first, Green Man, she pulls out a monocle and kind of holds it up in front of you and shows it and says, "This is a Hell's Lens. This allows people like us that may not be the most well-versed in Infernal to read it freely. And it can also give you some insight into the more deceptive people you might find knocking around down here.
What about
Is
the
there,
soul holy hand grenade?
The Soul Flask grenade.
That's the one, yeah.
So she kind of throws up this blackened sphere. And this is a Soul Flask grenade. That you throw this at someone, this is going to do some crazy necrotic damage to them.
And how much are these things?
I also have some other things off menu, but these don't go for small amounts.
Phew. They should do.
What about if we dealt in something other than gold?
What would you be offering?
A
A really
deal.
good handstand.
I'll pull out one of the soul coins I have on my person and just sort of flick it in my hand.
That's certainly currency that you can use here. She takes out a bag and opens it up and lets like lots of soul coins fall on the table in front of her. It's certainly a powerful currency, but I can't say that I'm lacking in it.
What's the price in gold for for one of these things? Like, just so I have an idea.
Which one are you asking?
What's the
They all have
cheapest?
differing
What's the
prices.
cheapest one? Just so I have.
The cheapest would be 5 of the flame kissed ammunition, and that would be 100 gold, or half a soul coin,
Okay. So a soul coin's about 200 gold.
around about.
Well, I mean, I gave a lot of my money to a chain, so.
She audibly laughs at that.
I'm gonna like bring the rest of the party into a bit of a huddle and be like, right, guys. Well, I've got 7 soul coins.
Yeah.
I'm happy to spend a bit of cash here.
Yeah.
I want to keep a few in case we need them. But is there anything anyone wants? That gem for the armor thing would be good on you, Ricky, or you, Yeg, probably.
You see her plonk over to your little huddle, and you see and hear her coming a mile off, and she like pokes her head over one of your shoulders and goes, "What are we talking about?"
I think I fancy you, and we're just like getting a game plan going.
Ew, you. Oh.
I'm gonna like start like rubbing up my chest and go, what about me?
I could be more convinced by the
The
by
bloke
this
rubbing
one.
his chest.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the guys. Like, hey, boys, am I clapped? Boys, just tell me truthfully, am I clapped? So I've got some money to spend. I'm happy to buy stuff for you guys. How much is it for the cage that catches the words? That's just kind of cool.
That is 500 gold pieces.
If we get the cage, 10 blow darts, gem, and the monocle, how much is that in gold?
Okay, so she gets her little calculator out. She says, in total in gold, that will be 2,300.
God damn.
I mean, that's 11.5 soul coins. I have 7 soul coins, so we need another like 950 gold.
I can give.
I've got another 375 on me anyway. We all put in 300 each.
325 each.
Yeah, but I'm gonna flirt with her and get the 100 gold off.
Good man.
Okay, go on. Try and do that then. What are you going to say?
I'm gonna say, by the way, has anyone told you that your eyes are like ethereal? Those beauties are beautiful.
Roll a.
Those beauties are beautiful. If that's disadvantage,
Your
if I'm
eyes
right.
are like ethereal.
I think
Those
disadvantage on the
beauties are
persuasion check.
beautiful.
It's a
Actually,
wonder he's got a
advantage
girlfriend.
for real life accuracy on the flirting.
Give me disadvantage on a persuasion check.
I'm gonna roll back to back that 20. Just you watch.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Jan, how? No.
Inspect element, inspect element. That's crazy.
Yeah, what have you done there? What have you done?
What have you done? What have you done there?
That's absurd. That is
Be honest,
absurd.
Jan. Be honest.
On my mother's life, I just hit roll.
There's no way you
amazing.
actually said
That
it
is
and rolled it.
diabolical.
I'm taking a picture of that on my phone.
That's insane.
What are the actual mathematical chances of that? I would love to know.
1 in 400.
Yeah, 20 times
Jeez.
20. 1 in 400.
0.25%.
And you called it as well. You called it.
Jan,
No
I don't believe it. I
No.
still
I swear
think
to
that
God.
you've bullshitted
I
this.
swear to God.
You just mathematically you have to be lying.
My mother's
I'm
lying.
going to tell you right
I
now.
just hit roll.
Now is the time to tell us because I'll be gutted if I find out.
No,
Oh.
on my mother's life.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. He can't do it that immediate. How
Do you know what I mean? That's crazy.
It's
I want. So what we saying? 2,000 gold, yeah, darling.
No, not 2,000. Yeah, but I'm still convinced he cheated.
no.
Swear
How
on
could he? How could he? How could he?
On my mother's life, I haven't. I swear on my mother's life, I haven't.
Yeah, fuck it, fine. We'll call it 2,000 total.
That's amazing.
I still cannot even believe that. I
I'm
still
so
think you're lying
glad
to me.
we decided to record this. Like, that's insane.
2,000 gold in total. So with the 5
Yeah.
soul coins, it's 1,000 each, so 200 each effectively. So whoever's paying the extra 100 for Finn, you can mark off 300.
250 each, no? There's 4 of us.
Oh, sorry, 250. Yeah.
Yeah, so Louie take off 500. Finn, don't worry about anything. Everyone's take 250 off.
Perfect.
Okay. I do have one last thing that may be of use to any of you. And she pulls out a metal chain that is completely blank. And she says, stolen straight from the Ledger of Chains itself. This is a blank infernal contract.
Whoa. So
Would you be interested?
with that, what can we do? What does that like? Because surely a contract is just as good as someone's word. Like, what is an infernal contract?
It's an infernal contract. You guys have made enough of it.
I
You
know.
know what an infernal contract is. This is your ability to make your own infernal contract with anything you so wish.
How much is it?
It's going to cost you the rest of the currency in your pockets.
What, you don't know how much that is. I've only got 10 coins on me.
Did I tell you how beautiful those beauties were?
So
rolls double nat ones.
Firstly, she points at you as you say this, Truyeg, and says, 197 gold pieces.
How dare you?
She then points at you, Ignatius, and says, 125 and 2 soul coins. She points at Ricky Bobby and says, 323 gold pieces. And lastly points at Boris and says, 698 gold pieces.
Am I meant to be impressed by that?
No, but I know how much gold you've got, and I know what you've got. And kind of taps her blue shining eyes and says, if you want it, it will cost you everything else you got.
Do we need it, fellas? Do we need it?
I want to ask. I'm assuming both parties have to be willing.
Both parties have to be willing, yeah.
And
They've got to sign it.
And
in what way they're willing is entirely down to you. But
to be fair, does Ricky still have that scroll of charm person?
Let me check. I did actually.
Because in theory, we could end the campaign right now if we get really lucky. We could go and
Scroll of charm person still in inventory. I do because I used it on what's his name, and then that's when we all got bummed, didn't we? And Luke was just like, listen, like that was always gonna happen. Just keep it.
Yeah. Because in theory, we can charm someone and make them sign a contract. Obviously, they have to fail.
Holy shit.
But it is doable. Does it,
I,
it has,
I know
can,
I know what you're thinking.
No, there's no point doing it on that bell or anything because they won't fail the roll. But on a
Yeah.
normal person, does it does the contract have to be signed by any? Does a fiend or a devil have to be on one side of the party, or can it be between two mortals?
You guys could make this contract with whoever you wish.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll hand over my money to. I'll give mine to Boris. There you go, mate. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Who
have
just,
mine
who
over
just
as
gave
well.
all of his away?
Pass it along the line.
All right, I'll take
Well,
all of the
little
gold
food bank,
and put the 2 soul coins on top, and I'll say throw in a couple bottles of booze and you get a deal.
You're a menace. I've got a sneaky silver piece in my back pocket.
I have a sneaky silver piece in my back pocket as well.
We showed
I'll
her.
say, yeah, I'll say she wasn't too concerned with your silver piece.
Ricky Bobby's like really gassed that she didn't know he had one.
She's a fucking idiot, dude.
I'm gonna lock eyes with her and say I hope we meet again and give her a wink and then walk off.
She's gonna nod very sarcastically as you walk away. Okay.
Yeah.
You're trunkling down.
Trunkling.
Anything any of you doing while you're doing so?
Chat to Boris for a little bit. I'm gonna say to him, I know we're all idiots, but I think you might have some tactical insight that I could maybe use right now. What do you think we should use this contract for?
That's a good question. I mean, it could be a bit of a spur of the moment thing, and also we kind of got to use our imagination in terms of the fact that we could even use the contract with each other if we could think of something smart enough. But it's definitely something we're going to need to put some time and thought into, not just using a whim. Like you say, the stronger opponent we use it on, the more likely they are to break the contract.
It's a risk to try and charm someone, but it's the highest reward because at that point we can literally ask them to do anything for us and they'll have to do it.
We either hope that most scenarios where people make contracts, one has something over the other, and we end up getting something over someone else.
Interesting. We'll keep thinking about it. I'll hold on to it for now. I don't trust the others because Ricky will sign it just as an autograph and give it to someone knowing him.
Ricky will make a contract with himself.
Yeah. And I think Truyeg's too good of a human to have this on him personally.
Truyeg's not really interested in the physical manifestations.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it for now.
Of all people, not the one to tell someone else how to live their life. God only knows. I mean, ironic where we are, but God only knows I've made many mistakes. But is drinking this much the right sort of way you want to go about things?
I'll say to him, I didn't choose this. It chose me, I guess. I feel like it helps me forget, but it also helps me remember in a weird way. And I mean, you'd do anything to bring back the people you've lost, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you at least get to see them in at least some sort of shadow spirit form, and I'm sure it brings a level of fondness to you. I only ever see those that I've lost in my sleep, and it's never happy. It's nightmarish. It's painful. It's not nice to go through. The drinking numbs it, I guess. It helps me cope, and it's a way of running away from it all, I guess. Haven't been sober since it all happened, and I plan on finding out how difficult it is to handle.
Nobody forced me, so I'm not going to force you to talk about anything, but I'm going to sort of pat him on the back and say, well, you know that not just me, but you can talk to any of us, even Ricky. And, yeah,
It's not the bottle. It's not only the bottle that you can rely on.
So, by this point, you are snaking around the mountain and you make your way up to one of the black lakes that are splattered around this region here, some of them connecting to each other, some of them not, and you are just making your way down past this lake. You see these tree-like growths clustering along the shoreline. This is a lake of bubbling black goo, almost demonic in its ichor and the way it kind of lashes at the ground around it. And just as you are walking past, appearing out of the center of the lake, smothered in black goo, is the shadow which you saw
Oh man.
when scrying upon Bel in his throne room. And he stands there, engulfed in the ichor and the goo from which he emerged, and is staring at you. And his lips open slightly, and that's where we're going to leave it for this week.
Oh, we've got like a month of break now.
We do.
Yes, we do.
It's a bit unfortunate.
Proper cliffhanger.